Learning about measurement is like learning the ABC of math and science. It's super important because it helps us understand lots of cool things later on in school. Just like building a strong base for a big tower, learning about measurement early helps us build a strong foundation for learning more complicated things later. We chose to teach you about measuring length because learning to measure how long things are is super important. It's like learning a superpower that helps us understand numbers and sizes better.
We use measurement every day. How, you might be thinking? Well, in the way that we tell time, plan travel, reach for a tissue, or place your water bottle on the table, spatial awareness. When we're cooking or playing sports.
Do you know that there's different ways to measure length? You can use your eyes, you can use materials like string or a ruler or a measuring tape. Measuring's just like a puzzle. Different situations need different ways. Sometimes we guess with our eyes, like fitting a toy in a box. Other times we use tools like rulers for exact measurements, such as measuring a bookshelf. Each way helps us find length based on what we need.
Just like Michelle mentioned, we can also use unifix blocks to measure as an informal unit. But when we're using these blocks, we must use identical units to measure. It's important because, as you can see here, there's two pencils that are the same size. But if you close your eyes and I said, which pencil's bigger? One that measures 2 blocks or one that measures 11? What would you say?
I'd probably say 11 blocks.
Yes, and that's because we don't know that the blocks are different sizes, and this refers to units. It's also important that there's no gaps or spacing or overlapping when we're placing the blocks to measure the pencil. You can see 2 examples here. It's important that we always describe the amount and the unit. If we say this pencil is 11 long, that leaves a lot of confusion because we don't know the unit. So to say this pencil is 11 blocks long clearly articulates to somebody else the measurement.
What to remember when you're measuring. Imagine you drawing a line with a crayon. You start at one point and you finish at another. It's the same with measuring. Starting at one end and finishing at another helps us know exactly how long something is. Without a clear start and an end, our measurements might be all mixed up, like trying to guess the end of a story without even knowing how it began.
If we're measuring more than one object, it's important that we ensure that the objects share the same starting point.
Straight things are like the rulers of measuring. They help us get the right size every time. If we use something wobbly or curvy, our measurements might be all mixed up, like trying to draw a straight line with a squiggly crayon. So straight things make sure our measurements are just right. Would a wavy rope work?
No.
Would a bow-tied ribbon work?
I don't think so.
Using a wavy rope or a bow-tied ribbon might give us a measurement that's not correct. Like if we were trying to measure how long a table is, it might give us a longer or shorter measurement than was actually true. So for accurate measuring, it's better to use something straight, like a straight rope or a measuring tape or even Unifix cubes. So now that you have all the big ideas, it's time to start measuring. No object is too small or too big when it comes to measuring length.